We did just see Chief Erica Shields show up just before we got started here at 11:30. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to her in a few minutes, and I will keep you updated as soon as we do. Fallon Gill, of the 11 patients that were taken to area hospitals, 6 of them are here at U of L. As soon as we pulled up, those doors right at the hospital were opened. There was medical staff with hazmat suits on. There are 2 ambulances here currently. I am told that the decontamination protocols are in place. It was here that 14-year-old Jacob McCarty was last seen. Surveillance video from that camera right there captured his last steps. He was walking his dog right down this pathway to that trail, and that's where his dad says he last saw him. And it is yet another school shooting that leaves many families wondering, are my kids safe? We have seen dozens of officers come and go. Some members of the command staff are in fact here. Even U of L officers and Shepherdsville police cars here at the hospital. We have seen what appear to be family members being escorted through the doors here of the emergency room. But because the scene was still active at Smoketown, we are hearing that it is not an active scene anymore, but officers told us to come to the hospital so that we can hear exactly from them. It is still unclear what led up to this shooting, but we do know 2 officers have been shot tonight in the Smoketown neighborhood. And again, we are expected to hear details from police in about 10 minutes, well, roughly 7 minutes now. 10:10 is when we are expected to hear from them, so we will bring that to you live as soon as they take this podium behind me. Well, the National Weather Service just confirmed an EF1 tornado in Shelby County. We right now are on the Miller property. They've had this land for generations. This is what they woke up to this morning. Guys, not even 2 minutes ago, police radioed over that they were getting ready to detonate whatever device they found here in Middletown. We heard fire in the hole, and then a huge, loud boom. Officers have since moved us back another block, so it is harder to see now, but we do know that that was for our safety. The suspicious package was found at 5th and Jefferson, which is actually about a block up from where we are standing right now, but police still have the area surrounding Jefferson Street blocked off. And if you can see behind me, you can see one of the robots that police use to inspect these devices that they found. Well, Gail, 2 guns were found at Jamie Knowles' home after a judge had said he couldn't have any. Well, guys, we're actually across the river because you really can see the barges much better from here. We're going to show you right now, and as soon as you start zooming in on that, you can see just how fast that current is near those barges, and officials say that is exactly why they are still there. Now we've moved to the other side of their property, and this is their driveway that we're standing on here. Another tree here snapped in half. The one right next to it snapped as well. This one over here, another one uprooted. Look at that tree. Have you ever seen anything like that? Now, I mentioned that this property has been in this family for generations. Steve's daughter lives right across the street. The largest barn at one point in time in Shelby County, destroyed. We'll show you that coming up in 30 minutes. Live in Shelbyville, Christie Battista, WDRB News. Fights, guns, and shootouts on Louisville streets.
Kids out at 3 a.m. carrying around an assault rifle, openly carrying it around. Something's not right.
Vendome Copper and Brass Works is just 2 blocks away from the Dave Armstrong Extreme Park. Owners say they've seen nothing but problems overnight, and it's only gotten worse.
Seems like every couple of nights or every few nights there's an incident.
One video shows 4 people appearing to be ducking behind this black car for cover. Cars start backing up as another person in the bottom right of your screen fires off a few shots. The group of 4 then shoot at least a dozen times.
You can see people just carrying guns and assault rifles, and everyone has them. It's just amazing to me the amount of guns that these young people have on them.
The city reduced the hours of the park last Monday. By early Wednesday morning, this is what was happening. Just before 3 a.m., Vendome surveillance video shows a crowd of at least 24 people gathering around what appears to be a fight. As the crowd breaks up, you can see at least one person with a gun. Around the same time, a different angle shows a car speeding down the street, someone throwing a firework out. That goes off feet away from this person. This all happening as Vendome employees are hard at work on the night shift.
It's one thing when no one's around here and we know what's going on, it's kind of like, man, that's crazy. But then when you have employees working, and it's going on right outside, now it's a much more concern. We need to step up. What's the city going to do to protect our workers when it's time for them to leave? Is it going to be safe for them to walk out, get in their trucks, and go home?
June 17th, 12:30 in the morning, 5 people shooting down the street, around a dozen shots fired. Another camera shows them running back and climbing the fence onto the company's property. They appear to congregate, seemingly to figure out what to do. Then another camera angle shows them hopping a different fence, not before they pass off their rifles to one of their friends. This time, one of their employees' truck was damaged. A bullet went through the engine block, causing thousands of dollars in damage.
And it was going on while they were in there. They just kind of went in the back of the building and kind of stayed back there in the back, made sure the doors were locked.
The owners have toyed with the idea of moving, but they say they are an anchor in the area. They'd rather stay and help the city fix the problems.
It would be hard to pick up and move. Safety's a very key priority, and keeping our employees safe and our buildings safe, and we just want some answers.
Hopeful that closing the park during the overnight hours will eventually help, but a week in, they haven't seen a change. I sat next to the mushroom hunter who found 5-year-old Cairo Jordan nearly 2 years ago. He was inconsolable during the hearing. The boy's mother, in an orange jumpsuit, saying the federal government was following her. After nearly 2 years on the run, this is the first glimpse we are getting of Dejan Anderson. She walks into the courtroom and smiles at the cameras.
I am Princess Califia Hatan Tupac II, representing the entity Dejan Anderson.
Dejan Anderson gives an alias, wants to represent herself, and says Space Force has been keeping track of her. It was only 15 minutes, but by the end of it, you could tell Judge Medlock was fed up with her antics.
I have been under NSA surveillance for the past 8 months, and how can that qualify me as a fugitive on the run when I've also had a detail from Space Force that was following my every move? When I contacted the Indiana State.
Let me tell you, that is not a valid legal objection. If you want to represent yourself, you're going to have to learn the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure, because if you conduct yourself like this and make these types of objections, you have no chance in the world.
Anderson is accused of killing her 5-year-old son, Cairo Jordan, stuffing him in a suitcase and leaving him on the side of these woods in New Pekin, Indiana. Judge Medlock didn't set a bond, meaning she won't be able to get out of jail. At the end, he decided he will not allow her to represent herself.
Based on what I've just heard, I'm going to ask someone from the Public Defender Office to be assigned to represent Ms. Anderson.
The community of Salem, who adopted the boy as their own, couldn't believe what they heard either.
I am relieved she's caught, but what I saw when she came in and opened her mouth, nobody's going to buy that. All we want is justice, her locked up forever.
Dejan Anderson is expected to be back in court in 3 weeks.
Every time I walk into that courtroom, it's just everything's flooded of what I lost.
It was another day Kaylee Sauter and the family of 17-year-old Mohammed Hussein thought they would get closure.
We just want it to be over. We just want him to rest.
Commonwealth versus Eric Ocampo Gonzalez may have...
Wednesday was the second hearing. Eric Ocampo was expected to take a plea deal for the murder charge in a DUI crash that killed Hussein. It caused a chain reaction with 2 other cars.
I couldn't see him as a monster. Now it's hard not to see him as one.
LMPD says Ocampo was speeding and didn't try to slow down or stop before crashing into a Toyota Hussein was riding in on Shepherdsville Road last April. Police say Ocampo had a blood alcohol level more than 4 times the legal limit.
How is any of this arguable? I know it's a process, It's not a good one.
Wednesday, Ocampo's attorney asked to inspect a vehicle involved in the crash. Hussein's family left waiting again, not able to put into words how difficult the past 10 months have been.
This is the hardest thing we've been through. I don't know. I really don't know.
Pictures of Sauter and Hussein, a reminder of what they used to have, memories and thoughts of the prom they should have been able to go to this year.
We would practice in my kitchen, dancing for prom. We had so many plans.
Leaving arm in arm, hoping for justice next time they walk these halls.
I'm just sad. And I'm just heartbroken. And I just feel so helpless because I can't do anything. And I have to hold faith in these people, and they haven't given me a reason to.
The second floor of this home in Bremen virtually gone. This is the aftermath of the tornado that came through over the weekend and what's left to clean up.
It's still, even at this point, it's still, unrecognizable to me.
Muhlenberg County Sheriff's Deputy Alex Piper has driven these roads countless times.
Doesn't look anything like this.
Unrecognizable. Foundations, frames of homes, evidence of a direct path of a tornado.
Almost seems like it's just kind of a dream. It's all kind of surreal.
11 people from Muhlenberg County died as a result of the storm. The governor making his first trip Tuesday to look at what's left.
Here, actually, my Uncle Ed married my dad's sister. His entire family is from here. He just lost 2 first cousins. It's everybody knows everybody, and I mean the loss is. It's really hard.
And in the same small town that's cleaning up what's left of their homes, others are giving what they can to help.
Oftentimes, and especially, folks seem to think that the spirit of humanity has been lost. And out here, if there's any good thing that comes out of it, it's just a reminder that no, it's still there.
Giving them hope as they pick up the pieces and start over. And with debris still scattered around the area, you can see brand new power poles. Crews are working around the clock to make sure power was restored to people in Bremen.